The show where we talk about a range of different codes of sport, brought to you by the Western Cape Provincial Sport Confederation. My name's Alton. We shift our attention slightly to table tennis. Mr. Hassie, Ismail, are you well, sir?
Well, thank you. Yourself?
All good, no reason to complain. Mr. Ismail, you've been involved in table tennis for a few years.
A few years. Since 1963.
Yeah, that's just a few years.
Yeah.
Tell us a bit about your involvement right now. I know you are sitting umpire. Are you still playing table tennis?
No, I gave up playing table tennis because of health reasons. I've had a very good innings over many years, and I'm quite satisfied. I've come to grips with it, that my playing days are over, and I don't want to be a heart attack looking for a place to happen.
Table tennis now has changed significantly to when you started in 1963. How is table tennis different?
Oh, there are many aspects of table tennis that's different. And it's largely due to the historical background from which table tennis comes. We grew up basically playing in garages and homemade venues. Compared to now, there are beautiful halls. In fact, my passion lies, and I've said it for a number of years, the survival of our sport lays at school level.
Absolutely. Definitely.
Where you find now most schools have a school hall. And when a child can go to a school, that means he's at some sort of a comfort zone. And that is where I believe he must play his sport as well. He doesn't have to go home and then travel to a venue. He's there already.
Exactly.
Yeah. That wasn't available to us, call it in the younger days.
I mean, table tennis, in my understanding, used to be, like all sport, way back when, used to be segregated.
Yes.
And times have changed. Give us one or two anecdotes of how things have happened before unification. I'm sure you can recall tons of experiences from 1963 to 1994 when unification happened.
Yeah.
What were some of the highlights pre-unification?
For me, distinctly, the highlight was that every code in South Africa, every sports code, had its main membership from the franchised community of South Africa. All controlling bodies were those of the franchised community. And all the national bodies were members of the international federations, with the exception of table tennis. And this is what we hold dear. In every code of sport, there were always 2 or 3 mother bodies in the country.
Yes.
Catering for the various racial groups.
Yes.
And table tennis, we considered ourselves to be a non-racial organization. And we were the only sports, non-racial, or only non-racial integrated sports association that held international membership, other than later darts followed us. Every other organization was, the international membership was held by the franchised community.
So would you be able to go and play internationally then? If you were a member of the international body, even though South Africa was...
That was a dicey situation. In 1957, the very first official South African, a membership of the South African Table Tennis Board that had a relationship with the International Federation.
Yeah.
The first South African team that went to go play in Stockholm, in Sweden, in 1957, consisting of 4 players and a manager, and they left the country as individuals, not as a team.
Okay.
Because they would not have received, as in later years we were proved correct, they would have not received visas and passports.
If they had gone as a collective, as a South African team.
It's when they got to London that they then declared themselves to be the SA team. They went over to Sweden, played in the World Championships, and they came back, and the moment they landed, all their passports were removed for a number of years.
Sure.
So those are, if you want to know of
Yeah.
significant moments, that was a very significant moment as well. Now, of course, now compare those years to now, we get a passport like you would buy a train ticket.
Did that galvanize the table tennis community in a particular manner to support these players, or did they just say, life goes on?
Well,
what happened since then?
Call it the support and non-support was always distinctly there, depending in which side of the spectrum you were playing. The South African Table Tennis Board was what we recognized as the mother body here in South Africa. Its counterpart was the South African Table Tennis Association. The South African Table Tennis Union. They also vied for international membership, but they were not granted because of their complying with the nationalist government racial policies. So that was our big bonus that we had. And in 1967, we were granted full membership of the ITTF, but yet we couldn't go overseas because we were still under the yoke of the apartheid government.
In terms, since then, things have changed significantly. How many clubs have been formulated and structured and still running today? Livken, as an example, is one of the older clubs in the country, if not one of the oldest. How many other clubs still around since those early days?
Yeah, can I just make a quick interjection there, and maybe I'll be seen as boasting.
Yeah.
Livken, that's the club I play for, is the oldest club in Africa.
Wow.
That's been confirmed by the International Federation, the African Federation, and South African Table Tennis Board. Now, talking about clubs, clubs come and go. Some clubs stay around for decades. Some stay around for 5 years, 7 years, and they're gone. They come and go. It is nowadays very easy to start a club. You get 3, 4, 5, 6 guys together. There's a lot of equipment available because of organizations like Lotto, etc., that provide funds and so forth. But the clubs, like currently here in Cape Town, which is now all, there's been a lot of political name changes also, as you are aware. We were known as Western Province Table Tennis. We are now called Cape Town Table Tennis. There are certain political impositions that we've had to suffer, and we have to conform. And there's many clubs that have amalgamated. There's clubs that have joined the organization. There's clubs that have been what we used to call on the other side, when we used to operate separately. But over the years, we have all come together. And I would say table tennis is a pretty unified sport.
And it's alive and well in Cape Town.
Table tennis is alive and well in Cape Town. It's quite vibrant in Cape Town.
And compare Cape Town to the rest of the country, how strong are we?
Okay, we have always been, for a number of years, we've been the strongest. Not saying that there are not strong players in other centers. There are. But we've always had the largest membership. I think...
is that, sorry to interject, Mr. Ismail, is that historically, I mean, going back, you talk about the 60s, the 70s, has Cape Town always been the powerhouse of table tennis in the country?
Cape Town has been the hub, the powerhouse, the mecca of table tennis, yes. Yeah. I don't know, on the other side of the spectrum, before 1994, I don't know...
You're talking from SATTB perspective?
From SATTB perspective, Cape Town has always been the hub of table tennis.
And in terms of coaching, do we have the best coaches here? Do we have the best facilities? What makes Cape Town table tennis so uniquely positioned?
Well, people have asked us, what do we feed our children? Yes, there's some magic in the Cape Town youngsters. If we chose a South African team, the South African team would right now come out of what we would call the townships of Cape Town. They would come out of Bonteheuwel, Bishop Lavers, Steenberg. That would be the membership from which it's because and in previous years it was even stronger in that way because the kids had nothing to do.
So table tennis became a way
focused, they live table tennis on a daily basis, playing in their communities, not the best of venues, but they developed themselves into the better type of players.
And in previous years that was an escape, as it were, and an activity to keep you off the street when you were younger.
You can say that. You can say that, yes.
So would you say that sport has the power to change people's lives in a positive way, to keep them entertained, alive and well, and focused on other areas?
Very much so. Very much so. It can direct an individual's life. It depends how committed and dedicated and what he wants to achieve, he or she wants to achieve. But sport has a distinct positive influence on the lives of people.
Mr. Ismail, in closing, you've been playing table tennis since 1963, you said. What has kept you in this lovely game called table tennis for all this time?
Well, first of all, when I was in matric, I just liked playing the sport. And then I think being the type of person that I am, I think I've got some huge administrative genes flowing through me, and my rise as a player was stunted by the fact that I chose rather to become an administrator and an umpire. So for me to have stayed in was what I would call my passion for the sport. I think I've created a lot of what we have around us, and I never stop creating. So whether it's new systems or new competitions,
ever evolving,
always something, trying to come up with something exciting that could slightly change the game and make people want to try something or achieve something new. But it's largely, and there's others like myself that have the passion for the game, and it's costing them a lot of hard work. It's costing them a lot of money. It's costing them sacrifice of families. But that is what it's like, I think, in a lot of sport.
Agree. Give us a motivational message to the youth to continue playing sport.
First of all, I can't talk about other sport because I've never really played other. But for table tennis, from what I've read and what I hear people and the research that has gone into table tennis, especially like in Japan, there are distinct health benefits. Apparently, the Japanese are using table tennis to try and alleviate the suffering of Alzheimer's. And it's a mind sport. You need to be sharp. You need to be thinking all the time. So you stay alive, if I can put it that way.
Mr. Ismail, we can sit here for hours and recall some of the stories of table tennis of old.
Yeah, I've told you nothing yet.
No, we've touched the tip of the iceberg. We want to get you back, and we want to talk a bit more about some of the history of table tennis. Thank you for your time. Thank you for all that you do for table tennis.
Thank you very much.
When we come back, we'll be chatting sailing. See you now.